Here we are looking at AONEQ. Obviously, make note of the Q on the end of it. Just keep that in mind. Nonetheless, these can still make some interesting trading ones. Case in point, back here you can see nasty gap down, and then there was a very nice bounce here. And that's pretty much what this video is going to revolve around. Uh, we're kind of seeing the same thing here. Not as nasty of a gap down, but again, there is a gap down, and you can see here now, big volume. So the question really becomes, are we going to see history repeat itself? And that's the main reason why I want to get over it. I've had some questions on it, but can't really tell too much from it because you know that you had the gap down. So now that kind of puts us in the category of the perspective that I'm coming from, which is just will we see something like this happen? And there's a couple things we can keep our eye on to see, you know, if it looks like history is going to repeat itself. Obviously, the price is going to be the one thing. The other is going to be does volume stay heavy like it was back here? You know, if this is going to be the bottom, there's probably going to be some more absorption needed. I'm sure there's going to be more people that are going to want to sell, and if there's enough volume there to absorb it, then maybe, you know, just maybe we could see it come up here and make a bounce. I don't know if it's going to do, you know, over 100% bounce like it did before, but if we look at where the resistance levels are, mainly where the resistance be on a bounce, and that's going to come from the low that it went over here. This was a support, now a resistance since it's above the price, but this low right here was at a nickel, so 5 cents would be the first level of resistance on any sort of bounce. So with the close at 0.0 235, you could still possibly see 100% bounce here if it does get up there. But that would be the first level, and this will also be a good gauge to measure the strength of any sort of bounces. If it gets up here and peters out, then you know that's probably going to be all she wrote. But if it comes up here and then just, you know, kind of gangbusters through this level, then you can put a little more confidence in the bounce and think, well, this one looks like it's got some plenty of gas left in the tank. So not only can this be used as a short-term potential price target, but like I said, it'll be a good gauge of any sort of bounce. If for some reason it does get through there, another resistance level you could keep your eye on is just this downtrend line here, up around, we'll just call it 7 cents at that point. But you know, I think one step at a time, one bite at a time. Let's first see if this is indeed a bottom, or if it's going to now start to put in lower lows. You can see here the low on the initial gap down day was 0.0156, and then this low is just at 0.05. So after this gap down, it really didn't put in a new lower low. It did by a very small margin, but for the most part held itself. So that's going to be the key thing here. So far, it has, right where it opened was the low. So as long as the 0.0165 continues to hold, I'd put it on alert as possible, you know, a repeat in history, and see if we can get a bounce happening here, especially given the big volume. So am I saying it's going to bounce for sure? No, but I think it's at least worth keeping an eye on. And you know, those are kind of the couple things that I would be watching. If there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook. With your newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from big boards down to penny stocks. So there's good variety, something for everybody. It is all free. We're making some good money together on Alert, so I'd encourage you to go to the website, sign up, and see what it's all about. One more time, this was AONEQ. Thanks for listening.